supposed to do. Maybe I've just changed. Or could I be wrong for you now, for you? You got me hanging on a string now.
Be resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
All feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, ain't it hard to figure out why? Why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles, you'll find along the road you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringehead.
They have used the power that they have gotten for the wrong thing. They want to keep themselves in power. They want to cater to the special interests. It is time for us as Democrats to be as tough as they are, to be as dedicated as they are, to be as committed as they are. Michelle always says, Michelle Obama, I love her, you know, she and my wife like really tight, which always scares me and Barack. But Michelle always says that, you know, when they go low, we go high. No. When they go low, we kick them.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We know where you live, too, bitch. We know where you live. Yeah. We know where you live, bitch.
That's my call to action here. Please don't just come here today and then go home. Go to the Hill today. Get up and please get up in the face of some Congress people.
If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace. If kids don't eat in peace, you don't eat in peace.
You cannot be civil with a political party that wants to destroy what you stand for, what you care about. That's why I believe if we are fortunate enough to win back the House and/or the Senate, that's when civility can start again.
I need you to go out and talk to your friends and talk to your neighbors. I want you to talk to them whether they're independent or whether they are Republican. I want you to argue with them and get in their face.
We talk to these folks because they potentially have the best answers, so I know who's asked to kick. with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama when they're talking about bringing a gun to a knife fight, when they're inciting violence against police officers. Today, we have police officers called out to fake calls so they can be ambushed and potentially assassinated. And we're talking about protesters, paid protesters, going to disrupt a Republican rally. If it wasn't Donald Trump, it would be any of the other candidates on this panel, and they know it.
Well, I mean, the line from the Untouchables about bringing a gun to a knife fight, I think people recognize that was an allusion to
I
Sean
don't think
Connery.
so. I didn't. I didn't recognize that.
Okay,
Absolutely
well,
not.
you should check out the film The Untouchables. But Alex,
So you're
I
a
want to let you.
philosopher? Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. What's up, people? Day before the election. What's going on out there? I did my show Friday remotely. It didn't sound too good to me, but I'm going to be testing that out a few times. But what's up? What's up, everybody? Everybody seems scared today. Scared. And I'm glad. All the Democrats feel, I think they're preparing themselves. I've been saying prepare yourself for a loss. I'm not saying you are going to lose. I'm not saying Democrats are going to lose tomorrow, right? Here in Connecticut, is Bob Stefanowski against Lamont, and then you have a lot of other races. But I think Stefanowski wins. I think he pulls it out, but people are scared here about losing. And now keep in mind, I talked to a lot of people who are unenthusiastic about Ned Lamont. I know people from the Spanish community who feel that I'm trying to not, I hate using racist and stuff like that, but this is how they feel. But they feel that he is not friendly with the Hispanic community. And to those people who feel that way, now they still feel an obligation. This is the thing that I've been trying to get into people's heads. Don't feel an obligation to vote Democrat. They're like, but I vote for party. Don't feel that obligation. If you feel that obligation, they will take you for granted, especially the Hispanic vote. They offer you nothing but expect your vote. Go vote Republican. Vote Republican. If you feel that way about Lamont, that he's kind of iffy when it comes to brown, black and brown, right? And it's funny because this morning I told somebody what other people, that feeling that some people have about Lamont, that he's faking it all the time, that he really is not interested in the minority community. And I was told, well, you don't have to like him. You just got to vote for him. Right? Now, this guy isn't running to change anything in Connecticut. He isn't changing anything. He's voting to be another Dan Malloy. So why would, if I don't like him, vote for him? He has to actually be an agent of change for me to go, well, let me pick the lesser of two evils, because this one at least is he's offering change. So to anybody out there who has that iffy feeling about Lamont, there's another candidate you could go to. Do not feel obligated to vote a party. Do not feel obligated to vote a party because they're basically stealing your vote, offering you nothing, expecting you to vote for them, and then they won't remember you until the next election. All right, so that's what's going on here for the people I speak to every day, you know. And this party thing is insane. First off, this is coming from a person, and I know people out there think I'm some lunatic, you know, Republican or conservative. Some people even think, you know, I'm some alt-right person. But just a few years ago, I voted for Bill Clinton. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for John Kerry. I did all of those things. I voted for Hillary Clinton in the primaries against Barack Obama. Barack H. Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Why do you say that? Because this is his middle name. Relax. Blame his mother. Anyway. So that's for you people out there who say saying his middle name is racist. Anyway, so I'm a person who actually who was raised a Democrat, right? And who was raised to vote for party. And I realized I was throwing my vote away all the time. You know? I wasn't voting for anything I believed in. I wasn't voting for anyone I believed in. You know, I was just voting party because my mother voted her party. And that's the last thing you want to do. You know, that's the last thing you want to do. Don't vote for party. Vote for issues. Vote for the person who's willing to create a better business environment. You know, I was listening to I was producing the Cannabis Corner show, and they would say, you know, one of them was saying about, actually Uncle Lou was saying about the tax cuts that Stefanoski is offering is for the higher income people. And this is the thing that people don't understand, right? Unless you start cutting taxes at the higher range where these people create businesses, small businesses and everything, these businesses continue to leave. You have to give them an incentive to stay. These are your taxpayers. The people at the lower end aren't paying much taxes. They aren't maintaining the state. And as soon as most of these businesses and rich people leave, that's when it gets thrown on your back. The middle class homeowner, you know, this is the thing that people don't understand. You actually have to give businesses and everything incentives to stay. They create jobs. Those jobs pay taxes. That's how revenue is created for the government. The government can't create its own jobs. A person will never pay enough taxes to pay for their own job if they work for the government. It's basic math. You know, so look, don't get caught up. Look at what's happening nationwide. And Connecticut has been suffering. Look what's happening nationwide. Nationwide, we have more jobs than people applying for jobs. You know, you have states like Texas and like Florida that may be making a bad decision come tomorrow and putting Gillum, who wants to move it towards actually charging a business tax of 40%, moving towards socialism, Medicare for all, that would bankrupt Florida. Florida has been doing great and one of the large job producers, just like Texas. But that's because they charge low taxes, create more businesses. Those businesses create more jobs. And that's what we want here. Stop looking for a handout. Look for a hand up. Look for that hand that's going to help you up. Not a handout that's going to keep you dependent. So, I'm going to play a little music and then I'll be back with the headlines. If I can find music. All right. You're listening to Breaking News.
I'm a perv, baby. Look through your peak hole. Trying to get a kiss before I leave. Do you think so? Maybe. You feeling me, girl? I'm feeling you. Don't tease me. I'm about to come through right now. I know you like it when I talk low, whispering in your ear. How can you say no? Just flow with it. Come on, babe, take a chance. Relax, sex. My dots in my pants. Get that redder than an Indian doing the rain dance. Slide my fingertips up your blouse to get a glance. Nice and slow. I know you're not ready to go. You need to unwind. Sip some more wine. Whatever, the red or the white kind. Staring in your eyes, trying to see into your mind. It's written, I got 2 more lines. Heart fluttering when I see you every time. It's like, whoa, woo, 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 woo.
Hey, yo, you make me wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
I just wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
You make the brother be like, yo, woo, you like. I said,
woo, 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 woo.
Hey, yo, you make me wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
I just wanna.
Woo, 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 woo.
You make the brother be like, yo, woo, you like. I said, okay, if you say so. Wanna be like, ooh, mommy, diamond, so. That Jackie O flair, I don't mind if I say so. We could go anywhere from the east to the west coast. Chicago, okay, we keep it in shifty. Love the time.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right. I'm going to actually take a look at the last election, 2016, the polls, because it's a good... I know some people are encouraged by the polls, and this show today is trying to prepare the Democrats for a loss, right? And I'm not saying you're going to lose. You may win tomorrow. And if you win tomorrow, I'll still, be able to come to work and I'll move on the next day because I have, a life. I have actually stuff to do. So it's you that I'm worried about. If the Democrats win the House of Representatives, it's just a rougher time for Trump. He could deal with it. He became president. It's not going to affect me, right? As long as he's doing his job, creating jobs and all of that stuff, strengthening our military, defending our borders, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper, right? But it's you that I'm worried about. It's the Democrats that I'm worried about. The crazy Democrats who are out there with their primal scream, like nuts. I'm really worried about you guys because I don't know what's next. All the Antifa vandalism, attacking Trump supporters, not allowing them to visit restaurants with their families. What's next for you guys? But I want to take a look, roll it back a little bit. 2 years ago, the Monday before the elections in 2016, I'm looking at all the polls. This is like maybe 50 polls, right? And I'll give you a couple of them. Bloomberg had Hillary up by 3. CBS, Hillary by 4. Fox News, Hillary by 4. Reuters, Hillary by 4. Monmouth, Hillary by 6. YouGov, Hillary by 4. And so on. Look, this is the day before the election. If I go back a few more days, I'll find Hillary by 8, Hillary by 11. This is what I'm just giving you a fair warning, right? Don't trust the polls. Don't trust the polls. I just want to prepare you. I don't want you guys to have emotional breakdowns again. It's been 2 years of TDS for you guys, Trump derangement syndrome, or Trump anxiety, TAD, Trump anxiety disorder. I'm just letting you know. There was like a couple of polls the day before, 4 polls that called it for Trump. Emerson, one that I can't even say the name, Trafika. LA Times, which LA Times was on point the whole time. LA Times had Trump up. and IBD Tip, which had him up by 2, right? But the rest, there's like 50 polls, and like 4 of them were for Trump. And so since only 4 were for Trump, they called those outliers. And Hillary was supposed to win big. I was actually listening to Morning Joe this morning, and they were saying no one expected Trump to win Florida. They didn't expect Trump to win Florida till about 8:30, 9 p.m. that night, till they realized he was winning Florida. So, just preparing you, because the polls aren't entirely accurate. And if you look at the generic ballot now that came out, Wall Street Journal NBC poll came out with the generic ballot, and the Democrats are up by 7. Right around what they were up 2 years ago, the generic ballot. Actually, I think it was higher 2 years ago, because they were expecting a landslide by Hillary. So just keep in mind that generic ballot is a national ballot. And they misinform you when they say the Democrats are up by 7 on the generic ballot. They're telling you nationwide, when they oversample Democrats, because that's what they did the last time, they weren't aware that Trump supporters were actually going to go and vote, right? They were expecting less people voting for Trump. And it wasn't till Joe Scarborough would say till 8:30 that evening, that Tuesday evening, that election day evening, that they realized, oh my God, people are coming out of the woodworks to vote for Trump. He may actually win this. So even on election day, all the way up to like 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m., they were under the impression that Hillary was going to win big. I'm just telling you, these polls cannot count everybody out there, especially when they're oversampling Democrats. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. I don't want to see people lose it. It's disturbing for me. I saw a lot of people with that primal scream losing it. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, what in the world are these people actually feeling right now? What are they thinking? Do they really feel like the world is ending? And I think after talking to some Democrats, you guys actually felt that the world was ending when Trump got elected. And now we're 2 years later, and the world hasn't ended. The world hasn't ended. His rhetoric hasn't changed. He's still, bombastic, but our country is better off. You have to ask yourself, are you financially better off than you were 2 years ago? Is the country better off than it was 2 years ago? Is North Korea pointing a nuclear weapon at us? Or do we have the lowest unemployment on record in like 70 years? Is the low black unemployment rate, does that matter to you? The lowest Hispanic unemployment rate, does that matter to you? The lowest Asian unemployment rate, does that matter to you? The fact that there are more jobs than people looking for jobs, does that matter to you? Forget the rhetoric. Forget the rhetoric. If you don't like what he says, just don't listen. Forget the words and look at the results. He says things like jobs, not mobs. And people get offended by that. But I can show you video of mobs attacking Trump supporters. The mobs that were actually attacking the senators during the Kavanaugh hearings. And I got a story coming up that is looking more and more like these people were making it up on Kavanaugh. What I'm telling you is, you have to take yourself out the bubble where everybody has told you a nuclear war was coming, and you put yourself in a bubble. You went into a mental bunker, and it's time to come out like the groundhog and actually look at the sun. Our country is better off than 2 years ago, and that's with the Democrat Party resisting 100%. You have to understand, we look at this immigration problem. They've been telling us, the media's been telling us that the reason that Republicans or conservatives want to seal the borders because they're racist, not because a country deserves to protect its borders, not because we have, and I have a story here, Medicaid for illegal immigrants reportedly costing Americans $18.5 billion annually. $18.5 billion. Not because of that. Of course, it's because we want to be able, look, having to pay for all these people, that's a security threat because our economy is at stake. We can't keep adding people. Look, $18.5 billion annually. We can't keep adding people. Who's going to pay for it? This isn't a socialist country. See, that's the thing. You have to stop listening to people who tell you you deserve something. You should earn something. And you shouldn't make it easier for people to take advantage of our system. Come out of your bunker, your mental bunker. Leave that bubble. Because you have to actually open your eyes and see the sun. Look at the light. You've been living in the darkness. Our country is better off than it was 2 years ago. It's that simple. When you're judging Trump, ask yourself, is my country better off? Not am I emotionally a basket case? Sorry for laughing, but most people who hate Trump, it's at an emotional level that I've never seen before. It's so raw. It's time for you to start looking at your country and not yourself. Look beyond yourself. Your feelings may have been hurt. You may have wanted Hillary Clinton. But we have President Trump. That's your reality. And President Trump has built this economy to the best it's been in a long time. He strengthened our military. You know, he wants to make this country better for everybody. Make America great again. I hope you consider yourself part of America. If you don't consider yourself part of that Make America Great Again slogan, then you have a problem. You are the problem. He wants to make America great again. He never said he make white America great again. Make America great again. All its American citizens. Make this country better for all of its American citizens. Look beyond yourself. Look beyond your hurt feelings. This country is doing great under President Donald J. Trump. And don't get spooked by everybody telling you that his words are creating an environment. Look at the people out there running around like like a chicken with their necks cut off, with their heads cut off. Look who it is. It's the Democrats who have created this environment. I'm telling you, walk away from that environment. Walk away from that hate. Go and vote Republican. Make it better for yourself. Make it better for your children. All right, I'll be right back. You've been listening to Breaking News with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. Be back in a few.
You got the thing that I want. It's the way that you move it, and don't you stop what you're doing, 'cause I love watching how you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that I see. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. You got that thing that I need, and you're making it hard for me to breathe. There's a fire burning deep inside of me, burning hotter as you move to the beat, the beat, the beat. I can't help it but to stare. Got the temperature rising up in here, and this beautiful woman everywhere. But you're the only one that I see, I see, I see. Gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. Gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you close to me. 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 I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me. I gotta get you alone. Just find a place we can go. And I don't care, no. 'Cause I gotta get you close to me.
You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. All right, let's get to the headlines. I was trying to put a video up, but like always, doesn't work. All right, so Obama volunteer arrested for vandalizing New York City synagogue with anti-Semitic statements. All right, police are reporting, right? So the Monday right after, I think it was Monday or Tuesday right after the synagogue shootings on Saturday, right? In New York, a synagogue was vandalized, and there was supposed to be some big event there, and a synagogue was vandalized with horrible things, right? So let me just read the article. The New York City Police Department arrested Democratic activists on Friday night for allegedly vandalizing a synagogue in New York City with vile anti-Semitic messages. This comes just days after the 11 people were murdered in Pittsburgh synagogue in a Pittsburgh synagogue in what was the deadliest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history. Authorities arrested 26-year-old James Polite, a former volunteer on Obama's first presidential campaign, for allegedly vandalizing Brooklyn's Union Temple on Thursday with anti-Semitic messages that included die Jew rats and we are here. Okay, so better be ready, and also Hitler was written on there. So this was tweeted by the NYPD. Update: the individual wanted for anti-Semitic graffiti at Union Temple at hashtag Brooklyn has been apprehended thanks to the hard-working officers. Yada, yada, yada. Anyway, Polite interned with Christine C. Quinn, the former Democratic Speaker of the New York City Council, for several years and worked on initiatives to combat hate, the New York Times reported in 2017. The DCNF reviewed Polite's Facebook and determined that it was the same James Polite profiled by the New York Times. All right, so yeah, and that happened, right? So, and this has been happening since Trump's been elected. There have been false reports of racist things being written in bathrooms, in churches, or anti-Semitic things written, when they finally catch the person, it turns out somebody just trying to make it look like somebody on the Trump side wrote this hateful stuff and creating an environment, and it turns out to be a Democrat activist. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Right? Nothing you're gonna hear on MSNBC, CNN. Why would they? Why would they? They can't do that because it goes directly against their agenda, and it's to create in your head, and this is what I'm saying, that bubble you've been living in, you have to step out of it. Step out of that dark bunker. Step out of it. See the light. It's the Democrat Party themselves that's causing this environment. Get away from them. All right, I already went through the Medicaid for illegal immigrants costing billions of dollars. Billions! Right? And let's move on. This from the Associated Press. Dems whiffed in 2016. So what if they fail again? For the Democrats, the midterm elections have been a beacon in the dark. Yeah, you guys sure are in a dark bunker. A chance to re-emerge from the political wilderness. I didn't even read this before I did my, Anyway, political wilderness and repudiate a president they view as a dangerous force. But on the cusp of Tuesday's vote, many Democrats are anxious, as anxious as they are hopeful. Their memories from 2016, when they watched in disbelief as Donald Trump defied polls. This is what I'm saying. This is on the AP, right? I didn't even read this before I gave you my little rant there, right? But they're saying exactly the same thing. Their memories from 2016 when they watched in disbelief as Donald Trump defied polls. Don't trust your polls right now. Prepare yourself. Defied poll expectations and political norms. And those feelings are still fresh. And as Trump travels the country armed with a divisive and racially charged closing campaign message, the test for Democrats now feels at once similar and more urgent than it did 2 years ago. They failed to stop Trump then. What if they fail? What if they fall short again? Interesting, right? Of course, the AP would write his closing campaign is a racist message. What are they talking about? He's talking about the caravan coming, right? And this caravan of thousands of people, we don't want them coming in illegally. It's that simple. How is that racist? We don't want them being a burden on our system. How is that racist? There may be some criminals amongst them. Actually, according to the Guatemalan president, there are. According to the Honduras president, there are. According to independent reporters, there's some MS-13 in there too. So, how is that racist? It's true. Right? So, but of course, and this is why the media, the press, the Associated Press, they added their opinion to this article here, right? I don't know if this is an opinion piece. Let's see. It doesn't say opinion, but they're actually trying to tilt the election themselves. This is something the press is not supposed to do. They are the referee. They're to stand on the court and call the fouls, you know? Count the points and baskets and everything. But instead, you have the Associated Press saying his closing campaign is racist. That's why you're fake news. This is exactly why you're fake news, and why he says you're working against the American people. We don't need to hear that. All we need to learn is the facts, right? So President Trump is out there campaigning for border security. That's the story. All right, let's move on. Listening to breaking news. Okay, for some, a vibrant U.S. economy complicates voting decisions. And this is what I'm telling you. I know it's complicating. All you hear is the rhetoric, because the media repeats everything he says until it hurts your brain. Right? Your friends, your co-workers tell you, can you believe he said that? Can you believe? Can you believe? Can you believe? Yeah, I believe it because it's happening. Relax. This is your new normal. It's your new normal. Get used to it. Or ignore it. And now just look at the results. Right? For many voters in America's affluent suburbs, a flourishing economy is forcing a thorny dilemma for the midterm elections. Do they vote Democratic, in part to protest Donald Trump for behavior some see as divisive and unprecedented? Or do they back Republicans in hopes that the economy will continue thriving under the majority party? A healthy economy has at least complicated their decision and blurred the outcome of the midterm elections. On Friday, the government reported that employers added a robust 250,000 jobs in October, and the unemployment rate stayed at a 5-decade low of 3.7%. You know, and what this article doesn't have it. But if you go to CNN Money and everything, you'll see that more people are actually joining the workforce. He's added over 1 million people rejoining the workforce. People who are sitting on the sidelines, who during the Obama administration, they told you those are retirements. No. They weren't retirements. People were disillusioned with Obama's economy and went and got on the sidelines. These people are re-entering the job market, and we need them. There's not enough people out there there's more jobs than people looking for jobs. So it's complicated. It's a complicated thing. People are struggling, trying to figure out, do I vote my interest or do I vote my emotions? Do I vote my interest, my kids' interest? A strong economy, a strong military, a stronger America, a flourishing America? or do I vote my emotions? I'm so hurt that he is president still. I'm so hurt that he said that about somebody. I'm so hurt that he said, look at her face. Oh my God, that hurts my feelings so bad that I don't want jobs. That's what you have to decide. You have to say to yourself, is the rhetoric more important to me than a stronger America, a flourishing America? But that's what's going on these days. People, and look, let me tell you, a lot of people here were in denial of Trump's economy. A lot of people here were in denial of Trump's economy. You know, we have about 500,000 manufacturing jobs that have come back to America. Those are big jobs. We have coal mines opening. People, look, all the jobs that Obama said, what does he have? A magic wand or something? As a matter of fact, I'm going to play that track right now.
Trump's policies would throw us into a recession, the last thing we need.
Some of those jobs of the past are just not going to come back. He just says, well, I'm going to negotiate a better deal. Well, how exactly are you going to negotiate that? What magic wand do you have?
The Dow, well, it's gone up for 8 straight sessions, and it will go up, at least at the opening bell, again today.
Companies are hiring. We know layoffs are down and companies are hiring.
Unemployment for African Americans fell to a new low of 5.9%. Female job seekers, a low as well, 3.4%.
Jobless claims dropping to 3.8%. In fact, we've only seen a number that low since 1969.
Even the New York Times has to admit it. Check out this report. We ran out of words to describe how good the jobs numbers are.
Yeah. That's how good our economy is doing. And Barack was out there yesterday trying to take credit for it when he told you that it was the new norm to have a 2% or lower GDP. When he told you those jobs weren't coming back. That's the thing. You know, don't get fooled by him, looking all cool. Now, who started it? I'm looking at him yesterday, and he puts on a great performance. He does. Look, he puts on a performance, but it's a performance. It's a performance. That's all it is. Barack goes up there on the stage, and he becomes Hollywood. He puts on a great performance. But you have to remember, he said, those jobs aren't coming back. What does he have? Some magic wand or something? Every Democrat economist, they fully expected for Trump's economy to tank. It hasn't. It's gotten stronger. And the jobs that it's creating aren't these crappy jobs that were created under Obama. These are real jobs. You have some oil companies offering $25,000 bonus to sign up with them. These are real jobs. These aren't retail jobs. These aren't jobs created by Obamacare that forced people into 29-hour positions. That's what they're not telling you. Obamacare actually created jobs. You know how? It knocked people off of full-time payrolls and created part-time jobs. That's what's going on in America. We are creating jobs at a super clip, but not just crappy jobs, real jobs. And now people have options. You're not happy with your job? Go look for a job. People are hiring. All right. Gonna take a quick break and I'll be back. You're listening to Breaking News on WNHH-LP 103.5 FM.
Will you forgive me for the things that I do? Will you forgive me for the things that I've done? Coming from where I'm from, not too many make it out. I'm just trying to be the one. I'm just trying to be that one. I like the dark. I ain't chasing the sun. I know I'm gonna shine when the time come. I'ma be the best that ever did it. Just gotta stay committed. I lose my mind trying to find it, get my head together. I'm stressing. Sent my brother a message. He promised to never stop fighting as long as I'm writing. That's what I needed. Through my eyes, he'll always be undefeated. He said I got it, and boy, do I believe it. I knew it since a youngin'. You know that feeling. Like you don't really belong in the pain, but come your healing, I'm strong. But what if I ain't have to be? Guess I wouldn't be the woman I am. Being broken is half of me. They gon' say they feel me, but do they really though? When it get really show who gon' really be down for you. Say you got a circle, but they ain't really around for you. Won't feed you, but that's your man's hold a pound for you when it's beef. Man, I'm just trying to eat. Everybody catching bodies, I'm just bodying beats. Telling my story because can't nobody tell it better.
Alright, you're listening to Breaking News with Harry A.K. The Brave. You know what's strange about... strange, I say strange because people are interesting creatures, right? Just listening to them and how unenthused they are about Lamont. And they think that Stefanowski might do a better job, but they want to vote for their party because they'll feel guilty. It's time to get off of that plantation. Get off the Democrat plantation. They're keeping you down. They're keeping you poor. Without poor people, the Democrats wouldn't have a party. Without victims, the Democrats wouldn't have a party. Time to leave the Democrats. Get out of that mental bunker. You've been living in darkness the last 2 years. It's time to come up and see the light. Look, Nate Silver, the guy who runs 538.com, he does a lot of polls and everything. And I think it was Nate Silver. Let me read the article so I get it right. 538's election forecaster Nate Silver said Sunday that the House could end up Democratic or Republican. It could end up in Democratic or Republican hands. Now, Nate Silver, I think it was the day before the election, last election, 2016, he said Hillary Clinton had over a 90% chance of winning. Oh, he was way off, right? And I think he's covering his butt right now, saying, that's like, what kind of forecaster are you? The House of Representatives could end up in Democrat or Republican hands. Duh. Are those our only choices, Nate? So, he's saying even though the polling predicts that Democrats will flip the chamber. So in the House, we have Democrats with about a 4 in 5 chance of winning, Silver told ABC's This Week. However, he noted, the polls aren't always right. They definitely haven't been right for you. Right? So he was out there giving basically a warning. He doesn't want, look, he took a lot of heat. Hillary Clinton, some people had her winning 97% chance of winning. And if you go to, I think it was CNN that they kept going, well, Nate Silver has now said it's 80% chance. And as Trump ticked off the states he kept winning, 60% chance, 50% chance, you know. So Hillary's chances of winning kept going down, 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 and Trump's kept going up. So that's Nate Silver, right? And let's quickly do this. Trump on false Kavanaugh accusation. How about the other ones? Now, 2 people have already been referred to the FBI for lying to Congress and the election committee, right? The whole Kavanaugh thing, the Supreme Court that everybody's already forgotten about. It's incredible how the Democrats thought he was the devil incarnate, and now all of a sudden Dianne Feinstein wants to move on. Everybody, all the Democrats just want to move on. What's going on? Is he evil or not? Let's go after him if he's evil. But I guess he wasn't evil, right? So anyway, 2 of the accusers have already been referred to the FBI for lying. And the most recent one actually admits that she did it for attention. So Trump is out there saying, President Trump on Sunday appeared to suggest additional women who accused Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct were lying after one admitted she fabricated a claim against the judge. Yeah. And you have other people. Look, we all make fun of it here. Let me tell you. Some of the people that I know, Democrats, made fun of it even while it was being said, especially, who was it? Ramirez. Too drunk to walk or talk, but she accused somebody. Anyway, so let's move on. Real Clear Politics. Right, I already did the Real Clear Politics of 2018. My time is out already. Anyway, so Real Clear Politics has it's a toss-up right now. It's really a toss-up. They're not calling much of it. They think the Republicans will keep the House. Keep the Senate, and the Democrats should win the House of Representatives, but that's all up in the air. It's too close to call. Too close to call. All right, people, I got to get out of here. Go vote tomorrow. Vote early because it's going to be raining, later in the day. So if you're allergic to water, vote early. All right, people. You've been listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Be resolute of heart, make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
I'm feeling goods with all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on, these questions is where my time spent. Creative